two-day working visit to Germany on June 27th and 28th, Prime Minister of Ukraine, Volodymyr Grossman, met with German Chancellor Angela Merkel. Among other important topics, they discussed the controversial issue of holding local elections in the districts of the Donbas region of Ukraine that are currently controlled by Russian and pro-Russian forces. This demand for elections was put forth during the Minsk negotiations of 2014 and 2015, in which Russia was a main player, in addition to the demands that Ukraine give the Donbas region broad autonomy and grant amnesty to rebel leaders. In the recent past, Germany and France supported the idea of such local elections. However, at the joint press conference with Grossman, held on June 27th in Berlin, Angela Merkel stated that it will be impossible to hold fair elections in the Donbas region in the near future. She explained that the situation in the region remains too volatile to guarantee the fairness of the electoral process and the safety of the people taking part in it. Her statement signals a significant shift in Germany's position regarding this issue and implies recognition of the actual state of affairs in the Donbas territories that are controlled by Russian and pro-Russian forces. The violent front lines in the Donbas region in eastern Ukraine continue to take the lives of soldiers, volunteers, and civilians. Recently, Ukrainian volunteer fighter and renowned opera singer Vasyl Slipak was tragically killed on the front. A native of Lviv, Vasyl Slipak was a star baritone opera singer who worked at the Paris Opera and Opéra Bastille in France from 1997. During the Revolution of Dignity in 2014 in Ukraine, Slipak abandoned his 17-year artistic career and returned to Ukraine, where he took an active role in the Euromaidan. Later, he volunteered to fight against Russian aggression in the Donbas. He was killed by an enemy sniper on June 29th on the front line near the village of Luhansk in the Donbas region. The anti-corruption campaign in Ukraine seems to be picking up steam. The Anti-Corruption Bureau of the Office of the Prosecutor General of Ukraine has issued arrest warrants for at least 11 Ukrainian officials suspected in a massive corruption scheme, the so-called natural gas affair, Hazova Sprava. However, the alleged ringleader in this scheme is People's Deputy Oleksandr Onyshchenko, who, for the time being, has legislative immunity from prosecution. The recently appointed General Prosecutor of Ukraine, Yuri Lutsenko, has stated that Onyshchenko allegedly created a criminal enterprise that laundered government money through the main natural gas extraction company in Ukraine. The Prosecutor General's office has petitioned the Supreme Council of Ukraine to lift Onyshchenko's legislative immunity so that he can be tried for crimes of corruption. In his speech before the Supreme Council of Ukraine on June 28th, Ukraine's Constitution Day, День Конституції, President Petro Poroshenko outlined his administration's strategic plans for future changes to the Ukrainian constitution. His main emphasis was on judicial reforms. He explained that new reforms in this highly problematic sphere would include the replacement of corrupt judges, income and expense oversight of judges to prevent bribery, the elimination of full judicial immunity, as well as limiting political influences on the judiciary and ensuring the independence of the judiciary. Poroshenko predicted that the implementation of these reforms will give Ukrainian citizens who are seeking justice through judicial processes in Ukraine a better chance at success. Following the parliamentary session, as part of Constitution Day celebrations, President Poroshenko and other dignitaries laid flowers at the monument of Hetman Pilip Orlik, the author of Ukraine's first constitution of 1710. I'm Tania Stech, and this was Ukraine in the News.